Welcome to Deep Thought. The future will be more about groups than nations. And I'm gonna tell you what though, this ain't something that's original to Uncle Rom. Something I just thought about. This was something said by a certain intelligence agency back around 2000. They said this would be the case around 2015. In fact, we see it now. When I say groups, I mean organized groups. And one of the reasons is it's becoming a smaller world. And yeah, you have movements across the planet that are trying to close their borders or be just about their nation. Yeah, good luck with that. Just everything we're doing now, if you really look at things, goes across nations. Hey, social media. Social media. I have people who follow my channel they'll say, hey, contacting you from South Africa, contacting you from Kenya, Eastern Europe. I mean, I've had people from all over. And I was thinking about that one day. I was like, you know what? Like, I can take my particular operation, I can go anywhere and not miss a beat. I can move. I can get up and move across the country, wherever. All I need is a working Wi-Fi. And I was thinking about that. If you look at a lot of stuff happening, like a lot of people traveling, or, it's a big issue about immigration across the planet. But what are people immigrating for? They're looking for jobs. And you have some nations, of course, who, because of their low birth rates, they need those immigrants. They need those immigrants. Yes, a political issue, and some people fighting against it, but they looking at a bigger picture. They're like, oh, we gotta make some money here. We need folks to do it and everything. So it's like the world is getting smaller, but you still gonna have organized groups. I don't care what's going on. Some people feel like, well, this is happening and this nation will fall off. Well, maybe the nation will, and I see that happening, but what you have across the country, or across the world, are just organized groups, In fact, they can fit into archetypes probably, like organized groups, lifestyles, subcultures, and everything. That's the issue. That's the thing. That's the thing. And these groups, most of these groups, I say most of these groups, they don't have like a great leader. I'm gonna say most of them. Some of them have maybe some people who are held in a position of leadership. But most of them, it's just about lifestyle. It's about how they want to live. See, we're not stuck. We can find somebody in Germany. They can come up with an idea, but you can get some people in rural America who following it. Some people in Chile who are following it. Some people in Japan who are following it. Just with the ideas, how ideas are spreading and everything, And it's going to be more about how organized each of those groups are. And that's already happening. You have diaspora groups of different nations, different peoples alike. Like nobody, like in the United States, nobody's talking about how much land, at least publicly. You might see something here and there about how much land people in the Chinese diaspora are carving up. They still connected with their homeland, but they just buying up stuff, having nice little restaurants and stuff. I remember near me was a Chinese buffet. I thought they were Korean at first, and that was the usual, but no, they Chinese. And I think there's another one I'll go to every now and then. But those are groups. And that's the thing, and everything. That's why, anybody who follow me know I pay a lot of attention to subcultures and groups. Like those subcultures, the larger they get, they can affect people. Like there's a lot, like in the United States, people will call, you don't hear like the term hipster like you used to, but because of their taste and how they travel, it affected a lot. It affected economies, local economies, in fact, in many cities. That's organized group. Or I'll use an example. I always call them the alphabet community, LBGTQ and all of that. They always add in some letters. But if you look across the country, they're organized. There's several gay neighborhoods and everything, gay businesses, And it was like, in fact, when I would visit friends out in San Diego, they lived near one in San Diego. And, my friend out there was pointing out, oh, okay, yeah, you always know because they have like a flag up and everything. But that's an organized group. That's how it is. And it's not, like I said, it's not always like a great leader or something, and they sitting around having meetings. Most of them are. But there's some who are, and, I've noticed that. Like it could be along political lines, religious lines, lifestyle lines, everything, But the world is getting smaller. And the nations are still there, but for the time being, what are they there for? Really just to keep everything running. Being in a nation is a business. But if you look at it, all of these nations have groups, and those groups go across barriers and everything. It's very important to understand that. It's very important. It's very important to really think. Like, think about which group you might be a part of. No, seriously, think about it. You're a part of a group. You might be people might be part of several groups. What is that particular group doing? It could be along racial lines. It could be along religious lines, lifestyle lines. You got some people into cosplay. That's global. That's a group, though. How they affecting the economy and everything. Look at that. Whatever subculture you might be a part of. How's that affecting, like, the world? Like, you think about your lifestyle, your particular lifestyle. Veganism, that's a group right there. That's starting to affect, because you're getting more and more vegan restaurants. More and more people adopting it. How's that affecting the economy of a particular area? Think about if you have, like say you have a housing development, but you get mostly vegans who move in. Any businesses around there have to take that into account. It would probably be better to have a vegan restaurant than it would be to have a regular fast food place. That vegan restaurant would probably do a whole lot better, or, or an small organic grocery store or something. They would do better. And in fact, like even in the area I live in, I'm seeing a lot of yoga studios all of a sudden. Yoga studios, places selling more organic type of food, everything. When I first moved in, I used to see a lot of Confederate flags, to the point I didn't see them. But it's been a long time since I've seen one in the area. It's been a long time. But what happened? A different type of group moved into the area. A different type of group, different people moved into the area. So it's like, okay. Like, think about what group think about what group you're part of. On different levels, you might be a part, and the typical person probably have different groups they can identify with. They ain't strictly in just one group. Like I said, it could be along racial lines, ethnic lines, religious lines, political lines, or just lifestyle, Might be a group just like comic books. But it's there. And the future will be more about groups than the nations, because like I said, these groups go across boundaries and everything, especially with social media, especially with Wi-Fi, Like I say, personally, I got followers all over the planet, guys who are supporting me. They'll say where they're from and everything. So it's a powerful thing. It's to pay attention, because the nations, they'll still be there, but it depends on who's in that particular nation, what they're doing. I want y'all to think about that, all right? And y'all have a great day, okay? And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.